This year, his assist numbers are up close to 3 a game. He's passing out of the double and triple teams that he's seeing.
Campbell hasn't got a point in the last 3 minutes plus. Who's going to score the ball for the Camels? Inside presence, shot missed. Another opportunity, that one put back up and in. So DJ Mason, who returned to the lineup after missing a number of games, gets the second field goal of the night for the Camels.
Yeah, he did a nice job during the offseason working on his all-around game, put in the work, and it's showing on the court this season.
Anthony Lindauer, 24, is also in the game for High Point, along with number 4, Cliff Cornish. Shot clock is deep at 7. Chance for a second opportunity, no. However, DJ Mason could not get control, lost it out of bounds.
And this is just great individual hustle right here by Mason. Don't get the first one, stick with the play, and those are the plays that you need on the road when you're trying to get a victory.
Indeed. 15, Lorenzo Cugini is now in the game for High Point. John Brown is back in. That one intended for Brown and turned over. Sheen McIntyre also in for the Panthers. Luke Moyer handles out front. In the victory against the Panthers, Moyer had a couple of threes and 4 assists. Long 3 by Leak. He is 0 for 2 with the triples. Lindauer for Brown. On the baseline. Not this time. Another chance for John Brown. Missed them both. It remains 8-4, and with the basketball, the Camels of Campbell. You like to shoot a lot of threes, but aren't hitting many so far.
Yeah, and they're going to have to hit some on the road. Campbell came into this game 17th in the nation, averaging close to 9 3-pointers made per game.
So far, Campbell is 0 for 4. It remains an 8-4 game, and we have already played 7 minutes. On the catch, a 3 from the outside, buried by Lorenzo Cugini. He played at the same high school that LeBron James started at, St. Vincent St. Mary in Ohio.
And that was great offensive execution that time by High Point. And Jim, because John Brown draws so much attention, it makes it easier for the other guys. That time, great ball movement. The shade on defense to Brown down low created a wide open 3.
Allows the other guys to get their feet set, get the motion going for that 3.
And it does. And because of Brown and all the attention he draws, it makes it so much easier for the other guys to operate.
That was a potential for a 5-point play because off the made 3 was a foul on Campbell's, but they were unable to score, so the Panthers come back on defense ahead of this game, 11-4. A deep 3 by Moyer, and he buries it for the first 3 for the outside, and he shoots Malcolm at almost 50%.
Yeah, and that's a breakdown by High Point. If you got a guy shooting 50% from beyond the arc, you cannot give him any space. But because of the way Campbell executes their offense, they make it really difficult for you to switch or hedge on screens.
At stake tonight for High Point, a regular season championship, number 1 seed in the Big South tournament, and along with that, an NIT bid if it needs it, meaning if it doesn't make the NCAA. Moyer in transition on the break. DJ Mason shoots for the outside, and it's back-to-back threes for Campbell, which seems to be warming up a little bit.
Well, Jim, if we get a chance coming out of a timeout, we're going to show the spacing that Campbell has. They don't have one guy in the paint. They spread you out on the perimeter, dribble penetration, unselfish basketball, which led to a wide-open 3.
Head coach Kevin McGeehan brings that offense from Richmond. Intended for Brown off 2 misses. A rebound taken down by Mason, and a chance for the Camels to go ahead. Leak on the baseline is bumped. A 6-0 run right now for the Camels, Malcolm.
Well, early on, it's been back and forth. Well, Campbell showing off.
High Point started shooting the ball very well, but lately has been just 1 for its last 8. Campbell, meanwhile, started 1 for 8. Has knocked down a couple threes and has 3 of the last 5.
Jim, early on, I've been impressed with Moyer, how he's handled the offense for Campbell. Hit a 3, but he's made some good decisions with the ball.
Shoots the ball very well, Malcolm, from the floor if they give him a chance, and he had a 3 moments ago. Inside, DJ Mason cut off a triple team. Somehow got a pass off to Kyrie Hamer.
Well, I love watching teams like Campbell, Richmond, that Princeton offense. Unselfish, they spread you out, and they are so good with their cuts. They make every cut count. That time on a nice backdoor for an easy deuce.
It seemed like it had to be that way because there wasn't much room on the baseline. Cugini with the offensive rebound and an open look. High Point 14, Campbell 12. Campbell shooting that student section, which never sits. Gonna have to get a hand in the face of Moyer, who's heating up for 2 threes.
And Coach Cherry is not happy at all with his High Point defense. Again, that's twice. You leave a guy that's shooting close to 50% from the 3-point line wide open for an uncontested 3.
Hayshean McIntyre is cut off. Back to Cugini. Both teams went to work today, and both shoot-arounds couldn't have been more different. As the Campbells went through a shooting exhibition and game plan, a lot of talk, meanwhile, in the High Point conversation. And that's a look moments ago to just a gorgeous assist from DJ Mason on the handoff inside to Hamer.
Yeah, and the offense has just been great for Campbell early on. And I talked about, Jim, the first 5 minutes of this game, 5-10 minutes. Can Campbell withstand the surge by High Point on the road? Campbell. So thus far, they've done a nice job executing their offense, taking the crowd out of the game.
Another deep 3, and that's 3 for 3 by Luke Moyer, who's amped up tonight. Trying to spoil the party for High Point, who's trying to win a regular season title. His range seems unlimited.
That was deep, contested. Moyer on fire right now.
That's a step back 3 the other way by Devontae Wallace, who shoots the 3 ball superbly at 49%. That's his 69th 3 of the year.
Yeah, we got a couple of sharpshooters. Both guys shooting, as you said, close to 50%. Really just breakdowns by both teams on the defensive end. You can't give shooters that much space.
First miss of the night for Moyer. Chance for High Point to get back ahead. Good ball movement, open shooter. Rebound inside Wallace. Well, spring break officially began today, but I'm not sure there's any empty seats in this little gymnasium, which packs about 1,700 or more.
The coaching staff raves about Wallace. Played for the great Dunbar schools out of Baltimore, and he's just a gym rat. He's a guy that puts in the work, and he's doing some nice things for High Point on the offensive end.
Right now, his team is called for traveling. 6 turnover on the Camels. Well, the Camels have brought a few fans here today. They're not that far away.
Campbell back to a soft half-court pressure, and then they fall back into the matchup zone, and they've done a nice job, Jim, changing up their defense.
Wallace will test it anyway. And Wallace's range is also unlimited. He had 16 the other night against BMI, including some game-icing free throws. So in our game of runs, High Point has the last 8 after Campbell put together an 8-0 run. Off the bounce and on the drive, shot blocked by Brown. Brown again, nearly banked it in, and off the rebound, it's going to go out of bounds to High Point. Devontae Wallace has got this crowd excited, and why not? He can shoot the three with the best of them. High Point by 4. Good-looking crowd tonight.
It's a great-looking crowd, and we're seeing some great offense. Compared to that first meeting, High Point shot 16% in the first half from beyond the arc. Not the case in this game. 57% so far in the first half from beyond the arc.
That's beyond the arc, but that shot is missed and rebounded by Brown. Back up, and he missed it. Tough angle, and it's taken down by Campbell, which has a 16-6 bench scoring edge in this game. Here's Mason, who swings it out to a perimeter shooter, now gets it back. DJ Mason, who had an earlier suspension this year, held up, puts it up, and scores it.
Well, Jim, if I want to show a tape of how to run an offense, I'm showing both teams, but thus far early, I'm giving a slight edge to Campbell. They have been patient. They spread High Point out, and then they're getting high percentage shots.
Devontae Wallace on that drive has the last 8 points for the Panthers. Take a look at the High Point University school bio. Founded back in 1924, located, as you might expect, in High Point, North Carolina, an enrollment of 4,400. Famous alum is Tubby Smith, who is coaching basketball now in the Big 12. And you and I, well, that's a slimmed-down version of Tubby. He and Donna Smith have done a lot to the university. In fact, we're honored back in 2002. You and I got the dollar tour today of a university that, for students, really is second to none.
Well, I don't want to leave. I mean, this is one of the nicest college campuses I've been on. The Recreation Center has a movie theater, a game room, and one of the nicest steakhouses I've seen. They didn't have a steakhouse back on my campus back in the day, Jim.
Me either. Brown had a deflection or a block there, and here they come in transition. Back to Brown, and he gets clipped going up. Antoine Oliver thought he got a hold of him for a held ball, but there will be a foul on the play, and it's on Oliver.
Well, that's what High Point needs to do more of. Get stops, and then get out in transition and try to get some early offense. That time, Brown showing off the hops on the defensive end.
John Brown, a 75% free throw shooter. Oliver now with 2 fouls in the game comes out, and Rico McCarter comes in.
Well, it was interesting talking with him at shoot-around today. He went through a growth spurt, and we talked about him not playing organized basketball until his junior year of high school, and he was a quarterback. And I asked him jokingly, I said, man, were you a scrambler? He's like, nah, I was a pocket passer. But then I got outside of the pocket one time and got hit pretty good, and my hip was hurt, and that was pretty much it for me scrambling around.
Smart man. By the way, Brown and McCarter have not been a factor scoring-wise in tonight's game. It's been other people that have picked up the slack. You can see in the corner of your monitor there, people are standing, and he can't get a seat here. Tough shot inside, missed. Hamer had the first try, DJ Mason the second, and there's likely free throws coming up and a chance for the Camels, who are 6-9 in the conference, to tie the game. So look at the student section, and not all the students are around because it is spring break time, but there are people just to the right of them who have been standing the entire game, and I'm not sure there's a spot to be found here.
Well, I love it, and they're behind their team. And you know, Jim, back to your earlier point about both McCarter and Brown not really being big factors in terms of from the point that's showing up on the board, but they're being unselfish with the basketball, which is leading to easy opportunities for their teammates. And I think that's key. Sometimes you can impact the game, as these two guys are, without scoring points.
By the way, that student section has a $31,000 incentive. A name will be drawn tonight. And whoever's name has been drawn, well, they're on the clock. If the team makes the NCAA tournament, we're speaking of High Point, and wins a second-round game, in other words, its first game of competition, that's a free scholarship of over $30,000.
I got to go talk to the president, see if I can get in on that.
No, you can't.
And get some eligibility left to be on this beautiful campus.
That's a good idea, though. Mason on the pass. There's a drive by Leak, and an outside foul is called. Neither. Deflected pass. Nearly stolen. Full shot clock, though, for the Camels.
DJ Mason has been equally impressive from he's been active defensively and offensively.
Another block by John Brown, his third of the game.
Well, John Brown heard us talking about it. He's tired of us talking about Campbell. Not in my house. Get that out of here, young fella.
Now, when you're a shot blocker, should you try to keep that in play?
And that's the only thing I will say he didn't do right. He could have kept that ball alive and gained possession for High Point. Now, yeah, it looks good on SportsCenter. Yes, the crowd will ooh and ah, but you would like to have a possession.
That one draws air from Luke Moyer. Panthers got off to a great start, but have struggled since then. Good swing of the ball off the reverse. That was halfway down for Cugini, and now Campbell, in a situation where it's a use it or lose it timeout, will use it and set up a last play for the remaining seconds.
That way right now, they're going to be able to hold for the last shot. And that's all you really can ask for on the road.
And as you saw by the numbers, the Campbells have pitched a shutout defensively over the last 3.5 minutes. Mason inside, and they decide not to use the clock, and he scores it. 5 seconds remaining, headed for Brown, missed it. And a foul in the backcourt on Wallace. Fortunately, though, for High Point, it is a non-shooting foul with 0.8 to go. So no harm, no foul, so to speak.
And this is just a missed opportunity by High Point. And John Brown almost got another SportsCenter top 10 nominee right there on that play to end the half. But that's a tough break for High Point. And then they're very fortunate that Campbell was not in a bonus situation.
Moyer, tough shot from half court, obviously. Yet Campbell closes on an 8-0 run. And during the course of the season, when the Camels are ahead at the break, they win the games 9 of 13 times. A thing.
You think of all the great players that he has coached, and it's about team first, and that's important. Well, I knew John Brown was going to get one. And I think we found our SportsCenter top 10 nominee.
He's raised the volume in this place. Foul called and an injured player. We may have to go to the monitor as Kyrie Heimer was hammered going up. Speaking of hammer, look at the hammer brought down by Brown moments ago.
John Brown. We talked about him in the tip.
Apparently we will not look at the monitor to see if there was any flagrant activity involved, and so Kyrie will get 2 free throws. Played on a 2-time state high school championship team in Georgia.
Well, back to Brown. Jim, it's just amazing that this young man did not pick up basketball organized until his junior year of high school. I spoke to Coach Cherry about him, and he says, you know, he was a late bloomer. He had that growth spurt, shot up some inches. He played football and really was under the radar and fell in love with the school here. And teams tried coming on him late, but he stuck to his commitment to High Point, and he has delivered for them. I think he's the front runner for Player of the Year in the Big South.
And he was the preseason pick as Player of the Year. High Point in the white uniforms with a basketball in a 1-point game. And now we've had 9 lead changes as Brown starts to heat up a bit.
He is so tough. So tough. In the post.
Now he's going to be guilty of a personal foul as he was hawking Kyrie Hamer. 2 fouls on John Brown. Neither team, by the way, Malcolm, got to the free throw line in terms of a bonus situation in the first half. And in this half, limited fouls, 2 on High Point and 1 on Campbell. Luke Moyer, #1, with that incredible outside range.
Well, High Point is back into a matchup zone.
Moyer from the wing can knock the 3 down, and that's 4 tonight for the sophomore out of Pennsylvania.
Jim, that's the problem when you go to any type of zone, whether it's a matchup, a switching zone, you have to identify the shooters. That is the one person you cannot leave alone if you're High Point. Luke Moyer, he's got to be over 50% now from the 3-point line.
A 32-6 edge for the bench for Campbell. That means the starters, if my math is right, have provided just 8 points. Deep into the shot clock, they'll try to bury out. And with 5 seconds to go, shot missed. Campbell by 2 and with the ball. We say the Camels don't have much to play for. Well, they can play spoiler tonight and prevent High Point from winning the Big South Championship. Plus, you get a little momentum into Tuesday's games.
They are putting on a clinic, Campbell, on the offensive end with their execution.
From the corner, a 3. Adam Wary, who averages 12 points a game, finally gets his first points of the night. In fact, that's his first field goal attempt. This place seats 1,700. There's not a seat to be had. Step back 3, Moyer, not this time. Tapped out, though, to Moyer. So another possession. And a third opportunity. But Leak lost it and is on the line.
Well, Jim, I think we got a top 10 nominee. Hey, why not come to, if you're going to come to a game, have fun. And they knew ESPN was here and they felt bright yellow. You probably got a good chance of showing up on national TV with that outfit.
Likely to keep those outfits on the rest of the night, too. Or before they have to turn them in at the stroke of midnight. How do you like the way High Point's attacking the zone?
Well, they've done a good job in the last couple of offensive possessions. That possession, though, I didn't like that. I would have liked to see John Brown touch the ball.
Rico McCarter left open. Just a 26% shooter from the arc. Contact inside. Will stay right here.
Coach Cherry is talking to his team, telling them to slow it down. You want to play through John Brown. Now, he's shooting a high percentage, and I talked about his assist numbers are up. Play through him, make Campbell double team, and then get some wide open looks.
You know, I can't recall a game in which neither team had gotten to the bonus so late. And we're almost halfway through the second half, and the bonus light and bonus graphic has not been indicated yet in either half.
Well, I think a big reason, Campbell, they've been shooting so many threes that they really haven't taken the ball to the hole.
Foul called inside on 15, Cugini. That may mean free throws for Darius Leonard.
And Jim, back to your point about really it's been a clean played game in terms of on the offensive end and how both teams have executed. But to Campbell, and we've talked about this number, they're 17th in the country, close to 9 3-pointers made per game, and they spread you out. And they make it really difficult for you to guard. They got you running all over the place. And thus far in this game, and that's the reason why it's a tie ball game on the road, they have executed and then they've been able to knock down shots.
You notice on the left side of Darius Leonard is a growth by his ear. And this is something that occurred after he had an earring ripped out in high school. At that time, medical surgery took it away from him. It has grown back. It's not life-threatening, but he gets treatment at Duke University roughly a couple of times a month, and they will address it more aggressively when the season's over.
Yeah, and coaching staff said it was a scary situation when they removed it the first time. It came back, so it's just an ongoing process that he has to deal with.
In case you're curious, it is benign, which of course is good news. Cornish missing inside and missing a chance for High Point to go back into the lead.
And that's a missed opportunity right there. Point blank layup. You got to finish those.
Tight defense employed by the Panthers. Done a good job of cutting off Rico McCarter, but other players have gotten in the act, particularly from the bench. Shot clock at 8. Moyer trying to get out of trouble. This one taken with 3. Outlet, and here comes High Point on the break. Scott Cherry can't believe it wasn't contact, and that contact wasn't called.
The referees are letting them play.
Leonard in the corner to Hamer. Back to Darius Leonard. Little face-up game there. Neither team now has not scored for a while. Big South regular season championship there for the taking for head coach Scott Cherry and the Panthers. Cugini from the right for 3. That'll raise the volume a little bit here. Moyer, his first drive to the hoop, but he's in trouble, and I believe he traveled.
Well, this was great execution by High Point, which led to a wide open 3 to Cugini, who knocked it down. And that's what you need if you're High Point. Be patient and then get a high percentage shot.
Campbell's not scored a field goal in now 3.5 minutes. High Point has regained the advantage, but there's very little separation in this game.
On this offensive possession, I'd like to see John Brown get a touch.
Instead, there's a steal, and McCarter also is able to pick up a foul on 23 Wallace. And Wallace can't seem to understand. That's 4 now Wallace, and with that, he's got to come out of the game. And it's too bad because he has 18 points.
And just good defense by Campbell. And what they're doing, Jim, they're switching on everything. Whether it's a ball screen or a down screen, Campbell is switching. So if you're High Point, you got to execute your cuts, and you got to come to the ball hard. If you throw any soft passes, right now Campbell has been really active in the passing lane.
On a replay, you could also see McCarter get a hand up there as Wallace went over the top. From the outside, what a nice stroke there by Rico McCarter. Campbell by 1.
We're seeing 2 of the top players in the Big South on display tonight. Rico McCarter, that's a beautiful, just individual move. Step back jumper.
Standing room only tonight here at High Point for a big game in the Big South. $15 lead changes and counting. DJ Mason will move to the goal, lays it in. Big fella can put the ball on the floor, can he?
He was impressive in that first half. I thought he made some great individual moves like he did on that last play, and then he was unselfish in that first half, creating opportunities for his teammates. He has been big for Campbell on the road.
He turned 20 years old, just 20, a little earlier this month. Cugini, can he do it again? This time he'll give it up. And on the baseline finds a wide open Darrell Edwards. Scott Cherry will take a 30-second timeout with a made basket. He's done that twice tonight after a hoop. Calls a timeout to set the D. Here's with Mike Krzyzewski at 2.
Yeah, and a couple of big games up for Florida State. According to Joe Lunardi, they're right on that bubble, so they can ill afford any slips going into the ACC tournament.
Not this time for Rico McCarter. And High Point with the rebound. Maintains a 2-point advantage.
That ball did everything but go down. Good looking shot by McCarter.
High Point has its offense set after using its third timeout of the game. Dangerous pass across court, and Leak got a hand on it with 12 to shoot. Television timeout with 6:11 to go, and still too close to call a winner. Managing as opposed to micromanaging, I suppose.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the time. I love watching them run their offense and shoot around. They are a nightmare to defend.
Shot clock at 5. Great defensive play, though, by Brown. Cugini for 3. That will lit this place up with being knocked that down, but still some fine defense by John Brown to force the turnover deep in the corner.
Again, another unselfish play by Brown, though. Not forcing up a 1-on-3 situation. Found the wide open teammate. Just unfortunately, he wasn't able to knock that one down.
Brown has taken 13 shots from the floor to score 10 points. Reverse layup by Hamer. Man, has he been impressive off the bench. He's got a dozen.
Well, he, along with Moyer, have been impressive. Hamer's done some great things on the defensive end. Then on that one right there, twisting and turning. Great individual finish at the rim.
5th time we've been tied in this game. Now at 51. Big South regular season title at stake for High Point. And obviously, if you can get the 1 seed in the tournament, you get a bye and a step closer to the potential of making the big dance.
And this right here is just great individual move by Hamer. Off of the spacing, it's all created, Jim, by their spacing. Campbell spaces you out so well, and they have you spread defensively, and then you're able to break them down with individual driving lanes, and the help, because you're so spread out, always comes late.
He's a freshman from one of the prettiest spots in the country, Stone Mountain, Georgia. High Point back ahead by 2, 53-51. I'm wondering if we get a warning here. In fact, that's exactly what we're getting, I believe, on High Point. No technical, but the next time it happens, there will be some free throws taken. So back and forth we go with 4:45 left. DJ Mason, who drove the goal moments ago. This is Leak. And on a drive to the basket, the 6'6" senior from the Sudan called for an offensive foul.
And this is just great defense, stepping up. And we talked about John Brown's ability to impact the game without scoring points. That time, getting it done on the defensive end. That's a huge charge for High Point.
Now a little weave action out front for High Point. Protecting a 2-point lead. And foul call before any contact takes place as Hashim McIntyre was trying to drive. 3 fouls now on DJ Mason. Team foul situation, 5 on Campbell, 4 on High Point. Neither team has been in the bonus tonight. John Brown cleans up a miss by Cugini. Under 4 minutes to go, and another offensive foul on the Camels.
Want this thing to slip away from you. You're down 4 right now on the road. Continue to execute, but they're going to have to start knocking down some shots from the perimeter again.
Brown right now underneath the basket. Gets the catch, threw it up, missed it. No foul, though. Play moves on. Scott Cherry complaining.
Well, there was a lot of contact on that right there. The double team came late.
That was surprising there wasn't contact or a foul call. Almost a turnover there, then a turnaround shot buried from the outside by Luke Moyer.
I'll tell you what, Luke Moyer has been impressive. Knocking down threes. Equally as impressive, his handle, able to get into the lane. He looked like Steve Nash on that one right there. A little step back, fadeaway jumper in the lane.
Just tied his career best at 16. To the corner for three. Now an opportunity for Campbell to tie it up. Under 3 minutes remaining. Brown trying to get out, force a steal. Remains in the hands of Campbell. Leak for the lead. Just missed it.
And Jim, if I'm High Point right now on this possession, as I said, you're playing through John Brown. Let him get a touch, and then Campbell's either going to have to double or let him operate.
15 to shoot. We're looking for somebody to pass it to at 5. McIntyre, loose ball, shot clock violation. And another chance for the Campbells to tie or go ahead.
Well, they just took too long to get into their offense. He has been on fire throughout this game.
Side out for the Camels. And 30 seconds on the possession. On the cut to the basket, Hamer too strong. Mason to clean it up, missed it. Hamer a third try, can't get it.
Jim, what a shame. That was a beautifully executed play on that last possession by Campbell. They executed it. They ran a nice curl cut. They did everything right except finish.
And 15 seconds, Malcolm, now on this possession, which is huge. Brown trying to get position, and he is fouled by Rico McCarter. So finally, High Point gets the call they thought they should have had 2 minutes ago.
And two of the best players right here in the Big South going at it. Rico McCarter trying to force John Brown out of the post, and I don't know, maybe a little bit of acting that time by John Brown, but nonetheless, the referee gave him the call.
Brown has been to the free throw line twice tonight, missed them both. This is a 1-and-1. A third opportunity for the Camels to tie the game.
Yeah, and really uncharacteristic of him. He came into this game shooting 75% from the free throw line, and that's a big miss.
Panthers have only been at the free throw line 5 times tonight. Plenty at stake.
Pointers made per game, so I think the future is very bright for Campbell.
Since there are only 4 fouls on High Point, they can go ahead and gamble. Try to get a steal, do a little bump, and see if maybe the foul is not called. Have it play on. Even if it is called, it doesn't force a 1-and-1. Moyer from long distance, way short. Not sure that's the shot they wanted.
No, that was not a good shot at all. A contested NBA three.
Now High Point will use one of its 2 remaining timeouts.
Well, opportunity to get another offensive possession if you're Campbell.
Here we go. .35 seconds left. 15 to shoot it. And another timeout called. So High Point now is out of timeouts. Campbell remains with 2.
In the shot clock, John Brown has got to touch the ball early in this possession.
Shot clock is at 13. They're 45 feet from the goal. Now 8. Here's Wallace trying to get around a double team. Ball picked up and stolen. 15 seconds to go and timeout. Campbell. With a chance to tie the game or maybe win it. So now let's go inside the Camels house.
In the act of shooting.
16.3 to go and a championship at stake. In the hands of Hamer. 15 seconds left. Guarded by Wallace. Down to 10. Mason lost the ball, picks it up over Brown. Shoots it, missed it. Rebound to Cugini with 3 seconds to go.
Well, DJ Mason had a pretty good look. Just came up a little short, but it was a well-ran play by Campbell, and DJ Mason just came up a little bit short.
Lorenzo Cugini is a 60% shooter. It's a 1-and-1. If he gets this one, it's ball game.
Pressure free throws. Who's going to step up and knock down a big free throw? End of the game situations.
Missed it. And a timeout call by the Camels. Now, if you're High Point defensively and you've got fouls to give, why not foul? Carter to throw it in. Looking for Moyer, looking for anybody. To Moyer, stolen away, it's over. Championship to High Point.
No, and he walked at the end of the game, and
so we'll continue on. High Point was ready for a celebration.